Welcome to Land House. I'm Seth. I am building a 20 by 30 workshop, and as you can see, it's kind of dark in here, which means it's time for some lights. Cinoton, a brand that I have worked with for 10 years now, sent over the 150 watt high bay lights. So in my studio space or my workshop, I have 10-foot ceilings. And so I'm thinking that a high bay light will be ideal here to illuminate and let me film in here without it being so dark. So although my ceiling is not done yet, I'm going to go ahead and install this light so that we can continue to work inside whenever it is dark in here. So, all right, let's go ahead and open up this Cinoton light and see what it's all about. Let's go ahead and see what's inside of this package. This is a 2-pack, which means I'll be able to light up several parts of my studio here. All right, let's go ahead and pull everything out so we can take a closer look at it. All right, protective cardboard, that's nice. Okay, now there are two, so I'm gonna pull one of them to the side and we can take a look at the other one real quick. Okay, so we have a couple of chains to mount this up here on the rafters. Also, there are a couple of hooks which should also be worked with there for the mounting. There's a package of wire nuts. The light itself is in a protective bag. And then we also have a little instruction booklet to help us get these wired up into position. All right, so let's take a look at the light real quick. This is a 150 watt LED, and it has two different sides to it. They are locked down, so it will just shine straight down. And it does have a diffuser plate over there, so it won't be quite as bright. Back here on the back, I'm seeing a place where I can unscrew to access the wiring inside. Now, as you can see, my ceiling up here doesn't have insulation or ceiling panels yet, so this is going to be a temporary install. But I'm going to go ahead and use the provided chain, and I'm going to loop this a couple of times over my rafters. And then there is a little carabiner down here. I'm going to connect the two of these together and then make sure they are hanging equally. And then I can loop this metal piece right in here, and that's going to be used to hold up that light fixture. And then I'm going to move over here to this side. Because this light is 2 foot, it should work quite well between these two rafters here. Once again, just a temporary install to get some lighting in here, and then I will do a full install of this once my ceiling panels are done. So, all right, there's our two little hooks hanging down. Let's go ahead and put the light between there. On the ends of the light panel, there are holes which allow the hooks here to go into. So I'm going to loop those in. I do have to pinch that just a little bit to get it to go in, and that helps to lock it into position. I'll do that on the other one over here. Now, there's nothing wrong with using the included wire nuts, but I'm going to be using these Wago connectors. They're just a little bit easier to work with. So all you have to do with these is you place one end over the wire like this right here, and then you just lower that little clip down and it locks it into position. And so now I can just take my other wire here and place that into the other side here. I'm doing this one-handed, so it's a little bit awkward. There we go. Those two are connected. Let me do that here with the neutral. There we go. Now you'll notice I only have the positive and the neutral wires connected. In the future, I will definitely have the ground on there, but this is just a test of this light. It's going to come back down so I can finish getting the ceiling insulation in. But let's go ahead and see how bright this light is. Much brighter. I'll have to turn down the camera settings so you can see this here. There we go. You can see just how bright this light is shining straight down there. I'm going to have a workbench in that area in the future, and so it will be very nice to have this much light shining down in that corner. So I've got my camera settings so that it's dark in here. Let me show you what it looks like with the light turned off again, so you kind of get a good idea of this. There we go. Yeah, I'm very pleased with that. I think I'll be able to film in there. Now, I can tell already that I don't see any banding, which is really good news. Let me get a cell phone out and see if this has any banding on it. Excellent. I don't see any banding on the cell phone either, which means this light is producing a nice clean output and does not have any interference with this camera. Okay, well, I am certainly pleased with the output of this light. I've got this connected to a power station since I don't have any grid power out here in my studio or workshop yet. So let's go over here and see what the power consumption is of this light. This light is holding steady at 156 watts. The 2-foot design of this light makes it ideal for rafters that are 2 feet apart. As you can see, it hangs down quite nicely just as it is. Now the chain that's provided is long enough that you could lower this even further down, but I kind of like it up a little bit higher. Whenever I mount this in the future, I will probably put it a little bit higher even still so that I have more dispersion here as I work in my workshop space. Okay, so as an overhead work light, I feel like this thing is plenty bright enough. Now I'll have this other one mounted over here as well to provide even more light. Together these two would produce about 300 watts, and that is pretty significant for here in my studio space. So far I'm liking the design. Seems to provide plenty of light, and I think I will enjoy having these here in my studio space. So if you want to check out the Cinoton 150 watt high bay light, I will have a link in the description down below. Like I said before, this is a company that I have worked with for about 10 years now. I've got 4 of their lights up in my other workshop, and they have worked flawlessly for years and years. I use them almost every single day. So product seems to be well made. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Seth with Land A House, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.